following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
All right, update time. Money finally showed up, so we got to fill the car, get a hotel room, eat, and I'm officially broke for the next few weeks, so... All right. However, life goes on, and other things that are actually going on. I think I mentioned this previously, but an update of the Star Trek Concordance, the venerable old tome that it's been updated a few times. The last update didn't go too well because let's be frank, the publishers were idiots. So this one we're doing ourselves to make sure everything's done right. So if anything goes wrong, we have to blame ourselves. Me and B. Jo Trimble, she's doing a lot of the work on here. She's having to update a lot of things. And I'm helping out with the editing and picture stuff. In fact, one of the aggravating things was that out of like 27 pictures of mine that were approved, only one got it in the actual book. And it wasn't even my favorite one. It was one with Spock mind melding with Nomad. And it got shrunk down to postage stamp size. But anyway, here's a video I did about 6 years ago. Hopefully we're trying to get it done then, but things fell apart. And now we're getting back, but watch this and you'll get that general idea.
The year was 1968, and Los Angeles Star Trek fan B. Jo Trimble took it upon herself to compile a small mountain of notes into coherent form, and thus was born the first edition of the Star Trek Concordance, covering the first 2 seasons with plans to add supplements at the end of each subsequent season. The fans were ecstatic. But rough times lay ahead as fan-friendly Desilu Studios and next-door neighbor Paramount Pictures were snatched up by a clueless sugar company and smashed together to form the corporate monolith known as Paramount Studios. No more easy access to scripts and behind-the-scenes info, as fanish concerns no longer mattered to the corporate bean counters. Which is why it wasn't until 1973 that the 3rd season supplement finally saw the light of day, with a coloring book for the kiddies. Meanwhile, the Star Trek phenomenon began to build momentum. In syndication, the show achieved rating success it only dreamed of during its network run, building to its return to NBC in animated form to critical acclaim. So in 1976, a new mass-market edition of the Concordance was released. Once again, the fans were ecstatic. The phenomenon continued to build, leading to the movies and the first 2 spin-off series. So in 1995, a new edition of the Concordance was released. The results were somewhat disappointing. Nevertheless, the franchise continued to chug along with more movies and more spin-off series. So now, in 2010, the time has come for a new edition of the Star Trek Concordance. The only book you will ever need. Whether Jew or Gentile, Mac or PC, Marvel or DC, staunch conservative or raving socialist, it is the duty of every freedom-loving American to exercise your constitutional duty and stand ready to purchase 50 copies of the Star Trek Concordance when it's released.
I snipped out the bit at the end of where to send artwork to, we're not ready to accept artwork yet. I kind of, jumped the gun when I did that at Starfest a few years back, and people started sending stuff in, and I sent it, and no, not yet. And plus some of the artwork is, I'm sorry to say, kind of shoddy, okay? We do have some standards to maintain, so we'll let you know when we need stuff and where to send it. I got a feeling I'm the one who's going to be getting it. That's my stupid idea. So, but working, it's continuing. It's going to be like almost doubling the size of the old Concordance because of all the stuff. Almost the entire 4th season of Enterprise, for one thing, and spattered throughout, and a couple of movies and other things. We're not doing JJ Trek, though. For a number of reasons. One, just the controversial nature of the whole thing, and also you'd have to have pretty much duplicate entries for everything. And it's like, you saw how big the encyclopedia came out. That almost qualifies as a coffee table by itself. Not my coffee table books, put some legs on it. It's a coffee table by itself. There, I think it's about 40 pounds. So no, we're just the copyright B. Jo has on the Concordance entails the original series and what connects directly to the original series, which means the animated, the original movies and some whatever Next Gen and everything other episodes that tie back directly to the original series. And like I said, that's the entire 4th season of Enterprise almost, and some DS9, a couple of Voyagers, and a few more in Next Gen than what were allowed the first time. I don't know why some of them got denied last time. Some of them were like direct ties, and they got, no, this time they're going ahead. Because we're not going through a clueless publisher this time. We're doing it ourselves. So if anything goes wrong, it's our own dumb fault. And despite my current circumstances, I have all the files I need on this laptop here. And also in a flash drive. I've got copies of our original files. I've scanned in scanned in all the pages of the original fan-done concordances, the mass market ones. One advantage of, they printed so damn many. Yes, some of them cost like $50, $60. I managed to get copies of the mass market ones for like $1 or $2. So I felt no problem tearing them apart and putting them in a binder and putting them in the scanner. The only one I haven't got one that's autographed by Bijo, so that one's staying alone, even if it is the crappy 91 version, or 94, whatever, the one. But this time we're going to do it. And actually, another thing is that with this new version, we'll be able to do Discovery. That's something the new one can't do. Whether or not we'll want to do something with Discovery is another matter entirely. Depends on what they do with it. But if they're bringing in Sarek, then yeah, I think that definitely makes it a fair game for us. So we'll see how that goes on there. I'm waiting to hear back from Bijo on the last one, but we've already exchanged some notes on some things, and I can only assume she's slogging through a lot of Enterprise that she didn't want to watch before, but now she has to. So back at you later then. And again, Patreon and PayPal, and also I'm going to include a link to my Cafe Press shop, because that's the closest thing I got to a regular income on there, and there's a lot of stuff on there too, and not just Star Trek either. I got various interests. Not a total Luddite. Anyway, check it out. See if you can find something you like. Catch you later.
Danby was a suspected double agent. You followed him to Hawaii.
Mr. McGarrett, the details are confidential. None of your business.
One of your operatives was killed on Hawaiian soil. That makes it my business. This is Jack Lord inviting you to be with us for termination with extreme prejudice.
There were some people Charles said he knew who could help him recoup his losses.
Do you think the deal could have fallen through and he...
The Danbys don't commit suicide.
Danby's alive. He's meeting one tide. Set for 4 o'clock.
Where is the meeting place?
Macapool Point.
That's funny, Steve. Danby's heading in the other direction.
That's very interesting. Next, termination. Be here. Aloha.